Holy hell, folks. It looks like Christmas came early this year.
In a stark reversal, the House Ethics Committee secretly voted to release a report into alleged misconduct by Matt Gaetz. The questions swirling around the former Republican congressman sunk his bid to become President-elect Trump's Attorney General pick. The committee's decision means the public could be able to read that report in just days.
Hallelujah, God. Yes. We don't want no devils in our house, God.
So stand by for that. Not sure what's in it. Not sure what they found.
Boy, you know it's bad when Fox is trying to dampen the blow. But you heard that right. The damning super secret ethics report on everyone's least favorite known congressional sex trafficker is going to be released to the public as soon as this week. But, oh, the story doesn't stop there. In fact, it's just the tip of the iceberg, folks, because CNN revealed the behind-the-scene machinations that brought this to light, which we'll dive into in just a second. But on top of all of those, Matt Gaetz had a desperate and panic meltdown after the news broke, in which he tried to snitch on himself in an apparent attempt to save his Botox-faced plastic skin. But it seems that immediately backfired on him, as well, as we shall see and relish in throughout this video. Because you know what they say, the younger they like them, the harder they fall. As always, folks, no minors were sex trafficked by sitting Congress members in the making of this video, but if you don't like and subscribe, I can't make any promises. So I want to start by diving in with the reporting of how this report got released, and then we'll look at Gaetz' desperate attempt to keep not only his new employment as a host at far-right fascist propaganda network One America quote-unquote news, but also his simultaneous attempt to keep his predatory anus tight and out of jail. Which, let's be honest, given the landscape of far-right media, being a host and a jailed sex offender aren't mutually exclusive. F the state of this country, am I right?
CNN has confirmed that a House panel took a secret vote to release the ethics report on former Congressman Matt Gaetz. It is now set to be made public, this investigation, soon.
We are told that this report is expected to be made public once this session of Congress ends and lawmakers leave Washington to return home for the holidays. But here's some of what they've been investigating: whether he engaged in sexual misconduct, whether he used illicit drugs, and also whether he shared inappropriate images or videos on the House floor, misused state identification records, converted campaign funds to personal use, accepted a bribe, had improper gratuity, or impermissible gifts.
Yes, you heard that right, folks. The report could be released as early as this week, which is wild, because it is rare for an ethics report to be released after someone resigns from Congress, though it has happened before. But it is especially significant because Gaetz resigned from both his congressional posts and his nomination as Trump's Attorney General in an attempt to stifle this report from coming out. But that, and this next attempt that we'll break down, seem to have worked about as well as his attempt to stifle his affinity for underage girls, illicit substances, and bragging about his sexual escapades on the House floor. Which is to say, not very well. Because according to reporting from The Guardian, Gaetz, in a panic meltdown of a statement, tried to do some damage control by setting expectations for the public about his misadventurous misdeeds that seems to have backfired as well and only made his situation worse. Gaetz decries reported release of ethics investigation, acknowledges he, quote, womanized, drank, and smoked in past. Reacting to reports that the House Ethics Committee will in the coming days release their investigation into allegations against him of sexual misconduct and drug use, Matt Gaetz acknowledged he had drank and partied in the past but denied breaking the law. In a post on Twitter, the former congressman whom Donald Trump briefly nominated to lead the Justice Department wrote, "The Biden-Garland DOJ spent years reviewing allegations that I committed various crimes. I was charged with nothing. Fully exonerated. Not even a campaign finance violation." Not sure Trump wants you mentioning that, but okay. "And the people investigating me hated me." Oh, Matt, it's not just them who hate you. Then the very witnesses DOJ deemed not credible were assembled by House Ethics to repeat their claims absent any cross-examination or challenge from me or my attorneys. I've had no chance to ever confront any accusers. Other than, I guess, the 2 alleged sexual encounters he had with a 17-year-old, but I guess he forgot about those. I've never been charged. I've never been sued. Instead, House Ethics will reportedly post a report online that I have no opportunity opportunity to debate or rebut as a former member of the body. Here's where it gets good. In my single days, I often sent funds to women I dated, even some I never dated but who asked. Bro, this does not make you look good. I dated several of these women for years. I never had sexual contact with someone under 18. And just the fact that he has to say that, he's already digging his own grave. Any claim that I have would be destroyed in court, which is why no such claim was ever made in court. Sure thing, bud. My 30s were an era of working very hard and playing hard too. It's embarrassing, though not criminal, that I probably partied, womanized, drank, and smoked more than I should have earlier in life. I live a different life now. Yeah, it's unfair to investigate me for being a drunk sexual womanizer, but let's do the same thing to Hunter Biden. That's not weaponization of justice, but this is. And he ended the statement saying, but at least I didn't vote for CRs that f*** over the country. And that last sentence is a reference to the 3-month government funding bill known as a continuing resolution, CR, that lawmakers were debating to prevent a government shutdown that would happen Friday without its passage. But even that last statement is a humiliating crock of shit for a number of reasons. One, because Gaetz was a part of the MAGA Civil War lame duck Republican House that passed the least amount of legislation since the Civil War, so he barely voted for any legislation whatsoever, and the stuff he did vote for absolutely f***ed over the country and wasted taxpayer dollars, including the investigation of the Bidens in the Republican sham impeachment trial. And then Republicans and their lackeys are the ones blocking the spending bill anyway, and a government shutdown absolutely would f*** over the country. You can't have your cake and eat it too, Matt. Unless Cake is the name of your future cellmate who makes you go down on him every morning. And even though the vote to release the report was secret and apparently down party lines, which is to be expected, I am just so grateful that Matt Gaetz is finally getting what he deserves. And in addition to getting humiliated, I personally hope he loses everything. And if that's a sentiment you agree with, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel as we update you on this developing story, because you know damn well where we will be when that report drops. And it is right here reporting it for all of you. And for Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse. I'll see you guys in the next one.
But this investigation goes back years, Jim, and it could be very explosive when it ultimately comes out, given the allegations that they have dug into about illicit drug use, about sexual misconduct, about allegations of bribery. Gaetz, of course, has long denied all of this. So this is essentially a political witch hunt aimed to get him, that none of this is true. But this investigation, depending on what it says, could have a ripple effect. Could affect Matt Gaetz' future potentially. We'll see how he responds, how the Trump team responds and the like. He's someone who is not out of Republican politics, potentially has an eye in other offices as well. So we'll see how ultimately this plays out. But no doubt about it, a big change for an influential player in the GOP.